Hello everyone, welcome to Stamping Crafty with Carolyn. My name's Carolyn Levitsky and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! And I'm very happy that you're spending time with me today. We are going to talk about embossing. What do you do with something you've embossed, and what's the difference between embossing and debossing? What kind of techniques can you use once you've run it through your machine? So let me show you a couple of different things that I've done. And I think this, all I did was run it through my machine, attach it to my card base. I put a couple of butterflies on there and a white ribbon, and you know what? I think that that is very elegant, a wonderful card for a wedding. So you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. I also ran some gray metallic through the machine, and this is what I came up with. Very pretty. But there are other things you could do with this also. It does not have to just be as it is, although I think it's lovely just as it is. Now, let me turn the camera down so that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And I need to put some glasses on. Okay, so this is the metallic that I ran through the machine, and I think that's lovely. It has a gray base with a black mat, and then the gray metallic piece that I embossed. I put a black ribbon with some iridescent pearls on it, and this is one that I ran through the machine, and I didn't do anything to it. I just left it as a plain white card. I put some pretty white butterflies on it with a white ribbon. Isn't that a gorgeous card for a wedding? I think so. So you really don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But we are going to do a couple of different techniques, and I do want to show you some that I did. A couple of techniques I used. On this card, I used blending brushes, and I love the softness of it. Of course, the card is not finished. I just wanted to show you the effect you get with different tools. Now, with this one, I use the dauber, this little thing that you put on your finger, and you put it in your stamp pad and you gently rub it over, and it gave me a card with more vibrant color. Now everyone is different. I like the muted tones like that. I think that's just lovely. Some of the things that happen from time to time when you run a piece of cardstock through your embossing machine, sometimes it will tear the paper. And if that's the case, all you need to do beforehand is take your piece that you're about to emboss, no matter what color it may be. Now I have a mixture, half water, half alcohol in here, and you just spray it on the card stock, and you run it through your machine just like that. Put it in your embossing folder, run it, and your cardstock will not tear. Some machines for some reason do, some don't. Mine, thank goodness, does not. But that's a little trick you could do if you're having a problem like that. Okay, now I want to show you a little technique, and it's using the metallic. I want to show you the difference between embossing and debossing, and I hope you could see that on the camera, embossing raises your negative space is between all of the flowers. Debossing is when your negative space are the flowers, and it's going, the raised area is on the back side, whereas with this one, the raised area is on the front side. And all you need to do is, when you use your embossing folder, and I have with me today, this is what I'm using, Pretty Flowers embossing folder, and it is a beautiful design from Stampin' Up. On the Stampin' Up embossing folders, the correct side to use if you want your embossing to be raised is the side that has this line across and the Stampin' Up logo. That will give you a side that is raised. If you otherwise, all you have to, if you want it to be debossed and you want only the negative, your florals to be in the negative rather than the positive, the raised, then all you have to do is turn it over and use it that way. However, also I want to point out to you that our Stampin' Up embossing folders have a line across it that you could use to line up your paper, which comes in extremely handy. Now, I want to talk about the metallic. I think that's very pretty as it is. But what if I were to take my StazOn? So, what if I were to take my Versamark black pigment ink and gently ran it across? This is all embossed. So what you're going to find is the embossed part is going to show. And do it gently at first. Remember, I always tell you, it's like cooking. If you put too much salt in the first time, you can't not take it away. It's the same thing with stamping and coloring. You cannot take it away. Once you put it on, it's there. So you want to do it gently. Okay, I think that's enough. So if you were to take, you need to use a pigment ink, something that will adhere to the metallic cardstock. So if you were to take any pigment ink, it doesn't have to be black, and rub it on, you get that look. You get a nice, very nice look as compared to this. It's all a matter of taste and what you prefer. And just to show you the difference between embossing and debossing, I'm going to do this to this piece right here. And you'll be able to see right away the difference between embossing and debossing. I hope you could see the difference. You see the difference in the flowers. The flowers on this are raised and you get a better impression from the ink. The flowers on this one are debossed. They're into the cardstock. You don't get such a nice look. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece that I had embossed. And of course your embossing too can also be a directional. So look at your folder before you put it in. Decide what direction you want this to be in. I'm gonna take, this is what I used to do. I want you to be able to see that. I used the same colors on this as what I'm going to put in onto this. We have a Flirty Flamingo and Mossy Meadow. This particular card, I used the sponge daubers. This I'm going to use our blending brushes. And I just, for me, I like the look of the blending brush. You could do as much or as little as you want to this card. Put on, okay, before we roll it on, I want to just dab off anything in excess. Now we're just going to come in and roll it on. And again, you want to start off lightly, because once that color's on, you cannot take it off. And I think I'm just going to concentrate on the flowers rather than the whole thing, because I'm going to want to put the green onto the leaves. So let's put this on the flowers. Now to me, that's a much softer look. And you know, we're all made differently. Some of us may like the dark look, and some of us may prefer the softer look. That's what makes this world so interesting and people so interesting. Couple of little flowers right in here and over here. Totally different looks. I mean, I could continue to keep putting color on to get it darker if I want. See? You can make it darker. Just don't tap off. But you lose a little control when you don't tap off. I like the tapping off idea. Okay, now we're gonna put this away, of course. And now we'll put the Mossy Meadow on, the leaves. And it does not have to be exact. That's the beauty of this. Just go in where the leaves are. Give them a little bit of color. Not every single thing has to be colored. You could just do it sporadically. And there, that's it. I'm going to close up this pad. Put these aside. And I'll pick them up and show you. This is when using the sponge dauber on your finger. A totally different look than when you use the blending brushes. I think, personally, I like the look of the blending brushes. So let's finish this card. Let's put it, we've got to put the mat on the base, and then we'll compare them again after they're finished. We're gonna open this up and line it up here so that we know it's straight as we put it on. When you put your embossed piece on, you're going to want to be more generous with your tape runner, because don't forget, it's no longer just a flat piece of paper. We'll do the same decoration on this card as the other card. We'll put our bow on it. Oops. I didn't run ribbon. I think the embossing truly is enough of, it's really the beauty of the card. So don't really need to run ribbon up the sides. And I will cut this. And we need glue dots. The only difference between this card, other than the color, and this card is that I have it going this way, horizontally rather than landscape. Now, to be fair to this card, I do need to put some sticky gems on. All right, and there we have the two different kinds colored in different ways. I hope you can see that and that. So your embossing folders can truly add so much to your card. Believe it or not, I mean, it sounds a little early to start talking Christmas, but if you're going to be making a bunch of cards for Christmas, now's the time to start. Well, don't forget, please subscribe. And I do want to remind you that if you like what I've done today, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, below the video, it says subscribe. Please click on subscribe and also the bell so that you know when one of my videos has come out. And don't forget thumbs up, please. We as demonstrators need that. And also, below the video, there's something that says show more. And in that area is where you'll get dimensions as well as the supplies that you need. And I do hope that you'll go to my blog and purchase supplies from me if you decide that you want to do anything that you've seen me do today. You have a great day. I appreciate the time that you gave me, the time that you spent here. And I'll see you another time with another new card. Thank you. Bye.